Hello, it's Tosin here, and this is the Hiring Diaries. It's where I document a real AI hire, the roles, the setup, and results. On this episode of the Hiring Diaries, we're hiring a personal email assistant, part of your operations department. Its job is simple: to read your email box, scan for urgent emails, draft replies in your voice, save them as drafts, and you review, you approve, and you send. It can also scan your meetings and create events in your calendar. We'll then automate this so you get your morning briefing every day. Let me now show you exactly how we onboard your new hire. Workspace. This assumes that you have given Cowork a context about your business and your voice, so it has an idea when it needs to write for you, although all it needs to know is how you write, really. The second thing I'll be walking you through are the two features we'll be using here is connectors. Connectors is what allows Cowork to connect to a lot of the other tools that you'll be using. In this case, we'll be connecting to Gmail and to your Google Calendar. And the other thing would be the scheduled feature. So how can you access connectors? You go into the customize, we click on that, and then you connect your apps. So I have already connected my app. I've already connected it to different apps, but if you needed to, click on connect your apps and you'll be presented with a list of apps that you can use. We've got Miro, we've got Airtable, Canva, Microsoft Office 365. There's so many that you can connect here, and it depends on your use case. But because I'm just going to go out of here, and if you needed to do it, all you need to do is click on what you need to connect, click on the plus sign, and it will walk through to the process you need to do. I won't be doing that right now. So I will come out of that and go into connectors. Now, what I want to show you here is quite important because this is where you allocate permissions to the app. In your case, if you're just doing this for the first time, you want to be careful how much permissions you give it. So just make sure that you look at the tasks. So for instance, they are read-only. This allows you to retrieve a specific email thread from the authenticated user's account. I would say always allow, but if not, you can make it need approval. Or list user labels. Again, this is very low risk. Searches for email threads from the authenticated user's Gmail account, low risk. However, when it comes to writing or deleting items, I would be a bit cautious. So for you, until you feel comfortable, you can always set it to needs approval, or if you don't want it to do that as well. So an example would be drafting emails from your account. You could set it to blocked so that you do it yourself. However, one thing to note is it's only creating the drafts at this stage. The same thing with Google Calendar. It also has the read-only permissions and write permissions. So it's up to you. You may not want it to delete a calendar event. I would be, unless it's specific instructions. So I've set that as needs approval. Respond to an event. Again, I'd set that to respond to an event to needs approval, and updating a calendar event, I've also set that to need approval. But like I said, the more you use it, the more comfortable you get. Now, one thing I'll also say is with anything computer technology, when you've given permission, every quarter or every 3 to 4 months, always do a check of everything you've given permissions. If you're still using them, there's no point having redundant permissions sitting in your account. That's how you protect your account, and you give it you feel more comfortable. As you feel more comfortable, but it's important that you go in and check that the permissions are still relevant and are still valid. You want to keep them active, otherwise turn that off. Okay, so what we have done is connected. Hopefully you're doing this alongside me so you can do it, and at the end of the day you have your morning briefing. So hopefully you've connected your Gmail and your Google Calendar. So now let's go into Cowork and create a new task. So what is asking, what can it help me today? So today I'm saying go into my email and scan all my messages and for unread messages. So this is very basic, and it will usually ask me follow-up questions. So let's just do that, because now it knows where it needs to go. So I'll tell you what is happening here. Right now it's preparing to carry out the task that I've given it. On the right hand side, you can see the progress. So it will show me what is happening. It will come up with a list of tasks, and it's also starting to look through. I need to open that up so you can see. So usually it will tell you what it's doing here, and you can ask follow-up questions. So now what it's done is come up with 50 unread messages, and it's come up with everything that needs attention for me. I can see that. So the next thing it's saying is highlighting what is high priority, and it's asking if you would like me to open any of these in full, draft a reply, or take action. Now, if I wanted it to draft a reply, I would just say draft a reply. And when it does draft a reply, what it does is that it will send that reply into my draft mailbox. When I'm ready, I go into there, and when I'm ready, I go into my mailbox and I revise it, or I send it if I'm happy with the outcome. So that's that email is searched. Now, what we can also do is I can say, okay, can you also go into my calendar and pull up all my meetings for the day. I may be more specific if it's detailed like that in my calendar, but here it is. I've asked it to go into my calendar. It's going into my calendar to pull out any meetings that I may have set in my calendar for today. So whilst we wait for that, you can see here the context is looking at the connectors. There are 2 events in my calendar. It says it looks like a fairly light day on the calendar, which is amazing. I can at this point say, please add an event in my calendar for this afternoon at 2 to discuss about for a client meeting about Claude training. Okay, I'm going to hit send, and let's see what happens. So it's adding an event into my calendar at this point. It's thinking I've given it permission to add events, so it's creating a calendar event. It looks like it doesn't have right permissions. See, remember that when we went into connector, I gave it a permission to ask for approval. So I need to go back into my customize, go into connectors, go into calendar, and allow it to update, create a calendar. Interesting. Always allow. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, we'll carry on the calendar. Okay, let's try again. There's no reason why it shouldn't this time. But that it can't reach my calendar. It may need to be reconnected. So connect there. Okay, so Google has blocked it. I mean, that shows you that you can be protected when this is happening. So what I would do is leave that for now, which is okay. But when you do ask it, it can help you to do that. Now, the next step I want to show you is how you can then have this on auto so you're not having to type this text every single time. Do you see this side on the left hand side of your screen? There's a scheduled feature. You click on that and create a new task, and the task we will have is a morning briefing, morning meeting, and morning briefing. I'll just call it morning briefing. I can't even spell. Okay, so in descriptions, we then go into description, and this would be, if I just use that, summarize my emails and meetings. And lastly, I can say go through, scan my email for urgent email, my email inbox for urgent emails, and scan my calendar for the day. Okay, so we don't need to work in a project because it all has a space where he stores information. In terms of frequency, how often do I want it? Daily, at what time? Say 8 o'clock. Default model, I will just pick a low level. It doesn't really need a lot of power, so I'll just pick the haiku, and I can click save at this time. Let me just make sure my prompt is written correctly. I click save at this point, and it's created it. Now, that's the new one that I've created. For your task to work, your computer needs to be awake, so you can leave it on depending on when. But if you're up and you're at your desk before it runs, then you can just leave it while it's running. So I will click on that. Now I need to know that this will run. So everything I need to do, what I need to then do is click on run now, so I can see it actually do the job that I need it to do. So I click on view, so it's running that. So it's done that at 11:34, and it's dumped that information here. So I click on that, and it shows me everything in my email as of today and what I have in my calendar, and it's highlighted what is urgent, what is a security alert, what needs my attention. And it does that on auto every day and drops that in there. So you come onto your computer, you go into your scheduled tasks, and the first thing you look at is what needs your attention. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Please let me know if you set this up for yourself, and if there's any AI hire that you really want me to show you here on the Hiring Diaries, I'd be happy to do that. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. That's it. That's your personal email assistant hired, briefed, onboarded, and working. This is the Hiring Diaries, and every week I'm bringing on a new AI team member and showing you exactly how the hire works. If you want to know which role to hire first in your business, the link is below. 5 minutes, it will show you exactly where your biggest time leak is. Next week, we're hiring a new team member, so follow so you don't miss it.